welcome to Gemstone Tarot, Thursday the 21st of May 2026. Yay! We are having a little woodland tale for May from the almanac with the shiny leaves. We're in May now, you see, which is, I don't know, probably March, April, May, the 5th month of the year, and I am still excited that there are gold leaves on this. I may never get over it. It just may keep me going for like the rest of my life. It's the little things. The fairy shawl. Yes. There was once a girl who loved to walk in the fields and pick flowers. She always worked hard, but never failed to find time to leave a little buttermilk and bread under the hawthorn for the good people. One day she went out looking for work and knocked on the door of a farmhouse. The farmer's wife was a mean woman, and she bundled her inside where 4 huge sacks of carded wool, several days' work, lay waiting to be spun. "I want this completed by sundown, or I'll tell everyone in the neighbourhood that you're really lazy and you'll never work again." What a biatch. Then she dressed herself up and went off into town to shop. The girl despaired. There was no hope of completing the job in time, but she set about it, and by noon her fingers were bleeding. She set down her work and stepped out in the garden, in which there was a hawthorn tree. She sat on a little stool and cried in frustration, but when she looked up she noticed through her tears that the leaves were particularly bright green and the flowers sparkling with light, and she had an idea. She took off her shoes and stockings and ran around the tree 7 times. This is not what I saw her doing. Hang on. Lost my thread. 7 times. Then threw open the door to the house and shouted, "Welcome, good people. Help me with my spinning." Immediately she heard clicking and whirring coming from the kitchen, but she knew better than to disturb them, so she put on her shoes and stockings and went for a walk in the fields, gathering flowers. She returned as evening fell, flung open the kitchen door and shouted, "Blessings on you, magic spinners!" And immediately the noise stopped. When she stepped inside she could see the sacks of carded wool were gone, replaced by skins and skins of beautiful spun wool. When the mean woman came back, she said, "This is no human work. You've had fairies in my house." "Indeed I have, and I made a beautiful job of the spinning," said the girl. "Never mind that. Look at the mess they made of my windows," said the woman. The farmhouse windows were covered in a mass of cobwebs, which stuck to her hands as she tried to brush them off. But when the girl touched the cobwebs, they transformed into a beautiful shimmering lace shawl, woven with the shapes of the flowers of May that the girl loved so much. Hawthorn, bluebell, elder and primrose. She put the shawl over her shoulders and left the farmhouse, never to return. The girl wore the shawl for the rest of her days, and it brought her all the luck, wealth and happiness that the farmer's wife was never to find. There you go. Happy ending and everything. And we're using the Sarsaparilla Tarot today because it also has quite a happy vibe. Yeehaw. Let's just give it a big girl shuffle. Good cardstock. There's a very kind of inflatable pink vibe to this, you know, like those what do they call them, flamingos that people have on holiday when they float around on the pool on flamingos. Okay. Oh, nice. I always like to see that card. It's about bloody time as well after yesterday. Yes. Now, even though these are dailies, they may play out for you in different kind of time zones. So don't worry about that. But this is a shift, thank God. That one. Okay, nice. Overall energy card we get is the Knight of Swords. So this is some kind of information or message coming into us, okay, which is nice. It can be like an email, it can be a piece of the jigsaw you didn't have, it can be someone saying something at work, it can be lots of different things, but either way, it's because it's a knight, it's information coming in, so we like this. It's also cerebral, we're also in the season, I think we're going into Gemini today. We are. Sun enters Gemini. So it's very, Knight of Swords is a very Gemini card actually. So we have a sense of, and Gemini is about communication, that there is a communication coming our way that in some way makes things clearer and in some way doesn't. Okay? Can't be 100% all the way there. Then we get this card. I think this is the only major. Yeah, this is the only major. But frankly, it's the only one you need. We've been lacking in a lot of this. And for justice, kind of read karma. You know, it feels like we've been fumphing around something and there hasn't been a... I don't like the word fairness because I think it's, you know, I don't think there's a lot of evidence of that. But in terms of karma, things have not been stacking up, okay? And sometimes this happens in weird ways. And notice as well that she has that sword. And the sword is about communication as well. And she's got like the Libra scales. And of course this is the Libra card. Okay. Then we get the Two of Cups. I know, this is Mr. and Mrs. Smashy and Nicey, isn't it? I mean, they're so kind of 1950s. But either way, Venus in Cancer. And isn't Venus in Cancer or it's going into Cancer? 1 minute. Yes! Tuesday, Venus went into Cancer. Yes. This is nice. It gives a little bit of simpatico to relationships. It could be romantic relationships. It could be friendship relationships. But either way, it lends a sort of a sweetness to a situation that wasn't very sweet. Then we have the Four of Wands in reverse. Okay, and we have the Ace of Swords in reverse. When you get the Ace of Swords and you've had the Knight of Swords, this is information coming into you. This is how you process that information yourself. And it's like how you make sense of things and the internal decision making that you have. Well, with the Ace of Swords in reverse and the Four of Wands in reverse, even though you've got justice, and let me just show you the cards. And let's see if I can do this. So you can see this is really nice. We've got justice, we've got the simpatico, we've got information coming in that changes things a bit. It's still not, the portal isn't open, and that's usually like the portal of luck. So just be glad that you have the justice and that there is a shift. It doesn't quite make sense yet, and the portal isn't yet quite yet open, if that makes sense. Then we get the Four of Swords. Either way, if you've been thrashing around with this for a while, you need to take your foot off the gas, cool your jets and just take a rest. Let justice do her work. She moves in mysterious ways. She's a very feminine energy archetype. Justice is not something that kind of, you know, she's a lover, not a fighter. Okay, she represents Venus and rules Libra. And then finally we've got the Eight of Pentacles. And so if you hadn't quite got the message from the Four of Swords, the universe wants to stop you working so hard, because working really hard towards something has its place at the right time when the portal is open. But at the moment it's neither open nor closed. It's like Schrodinger's portal, okay? So take your foot off the gas and don't be guilty about just kicking back and letting this play out. Okay? Leave me a comment and I will see you tomorrow. Namaste.